Welcome to our presentation on Alzheimer's treatments. Before talking about any specific Alzheimer's treatments, it's important to mention the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, which is found in the central and peripheral nervous systems. Acetylcholine assists with muscle control, autonomic body function, learning, memory, and attention. Alzheimer's disease patients have abnormally low levels of acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is released at the end of the axon terminal and can bind with either muscarinic and nicotinic receptors. In this image in the bottom right, acetylcholine is released from the axon terminal into the neuromuscular junction where it binds with a muscarinic receptor. It is then hydrolyzed by the enzyme acetylcholinesterase into choline and acetate. Choline can then be synthesized back into acetylcholine by the enzyme choline acetyltransferase with the addition of acetyl-CoA. One of the most widely used treatments for patients with early-stage Alzheimer's disease are cholinesterase inhibitors. These drugs include donepezil, which is a capsule, rivastigmine, which is a capsule or a patch, and galantamine, which is also a capsule. Cholinesterase drugs inhibit acetylcholinesterase from breaking down the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. As previously mentioned, patients afflicted with Alzheimer's disease have abnormally low levels of acetylcholine, and cholinesterase inhibitors inhibit the enzyme acetylcholinesterase from breaking down the supply, thus slowing down the process by which acetylcholine disappears in patients with Alzheimer's. This slide focuses on the early clinical trial in 2004 testing the effectiveness of patients with early-stage Alzheimer's taking donepezil. The Alzheimer's Disease Assessment Scale, cognitive subscale, measured the changes from the baseline set of test scores comparing those taking donepezil with those taking placebo pills. The test consisted of 11 tasks such as word recall and world recognition. The test subjects were also measured on the Mini Mental State Examination, which is another assessment scale similar to the Alzheimer's Disease Assessment Scale. Based on the data from both tests, at least 70% of patients taking donepezil during the 24-week study did not experience cognitive worsening, compared with the 47% of placebo patients that also did not experience cognitive worsening. Donepezil is about $100 per 90 tablets, with 10 milligram tablets each. In the 2001 clinical trial for galantamine, subjects were also measured on the Alzheimer's Disease Assessment Scale, cognitive subscale as well. The results were similar to the clinical trial from donepezil, and patients on galantamine experienced similar results to those on donepezil as well. Rivastigmine, which is the third drug for cholinesterase inhibitors, also worked to a similar effectiveness as donepezil and galantamine. The side effects and response by the individual may differ based on the drug use, which is the primary difference between those three cholinesterase inhibitors. Galantamine is about $80 per 64 milligram tablets, and rivastigmine is about $100 for a set of tablets.
Another drug used to treat Alzheimer's is aducanumab. This drug is an anti-amyloid antibody intravenous infusion therapy and is designed for early-stage Alzheimer's. As the word intravenous suggests, the drug is given in 45 to 60-minute infusions every 4 weeks and was only approved recently in June of 2021. Given the drug's novelty, along with its heavy use of IVs, it's rather costly, totaling around $56,000 a year. And how the drug works is anti-amyloid antibodies are given via an IV, where they travel up to the brain and attack amyloid plaques. Amyloid plaques are buildups of protein, especially surrounding the hippocampus, that disrupt neural passageways and are the main causes of dementia and memory loss in the early stages of Alzheimer's. While the drug has received positive reviews, there are still several controversies, mainly surrounding its ability to improve memory function in later stages of Alzheimer's, along with its ability to actually improve cognition. Our final and rather non-traditional method of Alzheimer's treatment is coconut oil. While at first glance this may seem like peddling essential oils, there is reason to believe that coconut oil can actually provide benefits for patients with Alzheimer's. This is mainly due to the coconut oil's abundance of MCTs, or medium-chain triglycerides, which provide energy to the brain without requiring insulin. Scientists have discovered that brain cells lose the ability to process glucose as they age, and this issue is especially prevalent in those with Alzheimer's. The most famous study of coconut oil is in Dr. Newport's study, where she tested coconut oil on her husband Steve, who suffered from early onset Alzheimer's. She asked Steve to draw a clock every day while also delivering him a daily dose of coconut oil, and as you can see in the results below, there does seem to be some correlation with coconut oil and cognitive function. While nothing is set in stone right now, there are many studies being produced, and we may hope to find solid results in the future. Unfortunately, when it comes to Alzheimer's, there are many shortcomings with the treatments. As shown, the majority of treatments are mostly geared towards early onset Alzheimer's, as Alzheimer's is unfortunately a disease that physically atrophies the brain, rendering lost brain mass irreversible. Furthermore, acetylcholine is a rapidly destroyed chemical in the brain of people with Alzheimer's, and thus many treatments are rendered useless in the later stages due to the loss of this neurotransmitter. Finally, as scientists do not really know much about Alzheimer's disease, treatments are relatively new and not reliable, as many cases are very different and each person's brain is not the same.